A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Ajay Krishna. I have completed the foundational level of the program and I'm going to be moving on to the diploma level this term. And I'm also a second year BTech CSE student in Anna University. So my talk is broadly going to be about how mathematics and music are closely interconnected and interlinked. There is geometry in the humming of strings. There is music in the spacing of spheres, said the ancient Greek philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras. Yes, mathematical numbers and musical notes are indeed inseparable. Let me begin with an example which most of us would be familiar about, the Fibonacci sequence. As we all know, the Fibonacci sequence is an infinite sequence which starts with 0 and 1, and subsequently, every term in the sequence is obtained by summing the previous two terms. Now, you may ask, how is this related to my topic? In music, interestingly, the Fibonacci sequence can be seen on the piano scales. Now, just carefully observe the numbers which I'm going to say. An octave on the piano has 13 notes. 8 are white keys, 5 are black keys. The third and the fifth notes create the foundation of a bass chord. So, do you just observe a pattern in the numbers which I've just mentioned? 3, 5, 8, 13 are all numbers in the Fibonacci sequence. Quite interesting, isn't it? Would you believe that research has shown that certain pieces of music have become more popular due to their mathematical structure? A melody is made up of waves. Mathematically, a perfect melody, when graphed, makes a sine wave or a sine curve. Now, coming to the most important part, our Indian music. The closest tie between music and math is patterns. Musical pieces often have repeating choruses or bars similar to patterns. Now, we all know in mathematics, we look for patterns to explain and predict the unknown. For example, if we are given a sequence and if we are asked to find the missing term in the sequence, all that we look for is a pattern. Similarly, in music, we also use a similar strategy, and relationships are fundamental to mathematics, and relationships create an interesting link between music and math. Now, in Indian music, there is a famous saying called Shruti Mata Laya Pita. As we all know, Bharata's Natya Shastra and Shankadeva's Sangeeta Ratnakara are two of the most groundbreaking works in the field of Indian music. But what many people don't know, however, is that Bharata's Natya Shastra and Shankadeva's Sangeeta Ratnakara are also two of the most groundbreaking works in the concept of number theory, which remains extremely important in modern mathematics. Manjul Bhargava, the famous mathematician and Fields medalist who has contributed greatly to the field of number theory, was invited to the annual music conference of the prestigious Music Academy in Chennai a few years ago. In his talk, he said something very interesting about mathematics and music. He said, two notes sound good together if the ratio of their frequencies is a simple whole number ratio like 2 is to 1 or 3 is to 2. And that is why two people singing together in the same pitch sound really nice and melodious to hear. This is an interesting fact to hear, isn't it? This math-music connection shines in the field of education as well. Research shows that children who learn their academics through music and dance retain the information better than children who learn the same concepts by verbal instruction. And yes, that is why in the primary level, children are taught mathematical tables in a musical way. All of us would have this experience, isn't it? So, the next time you find yourself wanting to get up and dance to music, remember that those pleasurable patterns of rhythm, beat, harmony, and melody are actually embodied mathematical expressions. So, in a nutshell, without mathematics, music will just become a cacophony of sounds, and music in turn helps math to be assimilated better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Krishnan. So, any questions? Okay, so I guess again, thank you. So we
Thank you.
can